Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talking Housewives with Dee. I'm Dee, and today we're talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 4, or as I like to call it, the Holy Mommy Issues episode, and the Poor Bronwyn episode. Because what the fuck was that? Oh my god, you guys, her mom. Oh my god, like my jaw dropped several times during that little, 3-minute conversation? Like, I can't, if she says that in front of a camera, I can't imagine what she is saying to Bronwyn in the privacy of their own home. Like last episode, she just told her that she wouldn't be shit without Todd. And like, now this, oh my god, okay, we're gonna jump into that when the time comes. But oh my goodness. Alright, first of all, thank you guys so much for being here with me today. I'm very excited to talk about this episode. It was a really good episode, much like all of Salt Lake City has been lately. So I'm excited to talk about this. Also, if you guys are interested in my Real Housewives of Potomac recaps, I do have the season premiere up on my channel right now. You guys can take a look at that if you like to watch Potomac, which you should, because Potomac is really good, you guys, and you need to give it a chance, okay? Right, so I told myself that this episode I was just gonna take like little tiny notes and just kind of go through memory about like the episode. I ended up taking 2.5 pages of notes, so I'm gonna do my best to go by it really quickly, okay? So let's jump right into it. So we are continuing the whole Lisa lawsuit debrief lunch that Amy the socialite is somehow a part of, and she didn't say one word this episode, and she didn't make another appearance. But yeah, so now we have so Whitney's cooling down, right? Remember, she walked out the table after getting all in Lisa's face. She walked off, and then she's like, I need to just cool down a little bit because Lisa's acting like a child and all that. So now it's Lisa versus Angie, and then somehow Whitney just appears back at the table. And it's Lisa versus Angie. And Lisa is saying that Angie only owns, like, she like basically lies about her wealth, and she does not own 15 salons. She only owns 1.5 salons, and she franchises. Which, like, that's, to me, if you are able to own a salon and have franchises, doesn't that mean you're like doing good, right? Like, you're not really, you don't have to do any work because people are making the money for you, like, you know. But I don't know, maybe I don't know business, I don't know. So anyway, so her and Andrew going back and forth, and Andrew's like, no, I own 3 salons, I franchise this many out, and blah 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 whatever. And then they just keep going back and forth, and Angie goes, you do french fries, I do franchise. And then that's when I said, I need that on a t-shirt or a hat, because I will wear it. You guys know I'm a stangy for life, okay? Until she does something that just completely makes me turn on her. I don't think so, because I love my Greek sis. I love Angie, and I need that on the t-shirt, and I need that on a hat. I asked her on Instagram. I said, we need it on the t-shirt, queen. We need it. So then Mary reacts. She goes, oh, that was good. And I just love Mary. I love Mary and Angie. I loved their sisterhood, which makes me really sad about what's going to happen next episode. But we'll get there when we get there. Okay, so Angie says that they're going, so now her and Lisa, yeah, so they're going back and forth, and Angie says that Lisa was, supposed to be her friend and all that, but she's promoting Kerastas. Remember, like, last season with the whole high body count hair, whatever, and like Lisa got that sponsorship. Then Angie got a sponsorship like later on, but it was really like all about Lisa. And Lisa's like, they sponsor me because I have nice shiny hair. And then Angie's like, I have been promoting them and carrying their products in my salon for 20 years, and I promote Fresh Wolf, and that's like a C-line product. It belongs in Walmart. Now, let's pause for a second. Let's pause, because I love my girl Angie. I just said I'm a stangy, but I don't think she should have said that, guys. She shouldn't have said that, because now you're talking about her kids' stuff, and we don't do that. So I think that Angie should have not said that. So after Angie says that, Lisa loses her shit for like the 10th time at this lunch, and And then she's like just going at Angie, and then Heather says that they all need to stop going low. Like, we just need to stop. And like everyone agrees that they do. And then Lisa cries and she says that, that she loves Angie. That's why she's so hurt that she said that stuff about her at camp, about her being Jen Shaw. And then Lisa says that she loves Heather, and then Heather starts fucking crying. Oh god. And then like basically like Lisa says she loves everyone at the table, and they move on, and that's the end of the lunch. So now there are a whole bunch of scenes of people doing like different stuff. So we have Meredith, Seth, and Chloe at Meredith's store, and she's saying that she wants like a caviar speakeasy in the back of the store, like a caviar lounge. So that's gonna be a thing. And then we have Heather and Mary at lunch, and then Mary says she doesn't like tequila, that it tastes like medicine, that it tastes like hospital, and we all remember Mary saying that gin smells like hospital, so that's pretty funny. And then we go over to Justin and Whitney, and they're putting together a stripper pole in their house, and then like when Whitney's like bending over, and it's like making me really uncomfortable, and I don't usually get uncomfortable with stuff like that, but it's just something about, I don't know, you know what, okay, let me like, it didn't make me uncomfortable, let me stop that, because I'm not that dramatic. It made me cringe, that's what it did, because I'm like, ugh, I don't know, guys, like, I'm like, like I had to kind of look away, and not like in a, but like a, that's how I was feeling. And then she talks about her failed business again. Yeah, alrighty. Now we have a really like a good scene. Now we have Bronwyn and Lisa. Bronwyn pulls up to the Vita Premier Lounge, and she hits the curb with her Range Rover, and I relate to that. I relate. I can't parallel park to save my life. I get so nervous, you guys. Like, if I have to parallel park, like I'm already sweating, right? I have a backup camera and everything. I'm sweating, like profusely sweating. And then if a car comes behind me, and they're waiting for me to parallel park, oh, now I'm like drenched in sweat. Like I'm freaking out, because I'm like, oh my god, this car is waiting. There's another car behind that car. There's another car behind that car, and I can't get my car into the space. And then I'll just drive off. I would rather park 4 blocks away than try to parallel park in front of an establishment. I really would. And that's just how I feel. That's my anxiety. I can't help it. And I know there's some people out there who relate. And I want to say that you are seen, and I love you. Anyways, they sit down and they start talking about everything. So Elisa apologizes about the whole Gwen thing. She says that it was never her intention, to do that, bring up Gwen and the family and all that. Which honestly, guys, I really do believe that it was not her intention to do anything messy with that. I think she was just trying to help. I really do. And I'm saying that as someone who likes Bronwyn. I think that Lisa was just trying to help. And then they start going back and forth about what Lisa said. Like, Ron was saying that Lisa said that she was a whore, and they start talking about the dick sucking again. And then Lisa brings up Bronwyn bringing up the lawsuits. Like, she gets very like defensive if you're talking about John or anything like that, and that's why she went low like she did. And then they keep saying like, it's a race to the bottom, and like, let's stop. So that argument was all over the place, but they end up settling it, and they apologized, and they said like, moving forward, like, let's just make it comfortable for everyone to be around us without us basically going at each other's throats, and they agree. So now we're over here with Mary. Mary is dressed down in all purple. Got her purple Birkin, purple dress pants, purple blouse. She looks great. They're at her church. So apparently her church has been shut down for like 2 years. I know her church was shut down, but she's saying that is for renovations. So she's there with, I think it's her uncle or her cousin. I'm not quite sure yet. So they go into the church, and there's a painting of Mary's grandmother and Jesus hanging on the wall. Yeah. Okay. Oh god. And so like Mary's like walking around, and she's like saying that, oh, it looks renovated, but not really, because like, well, there's nails and shit sticking out. And I'll be honest with you guys, it looked the same as it looked the last time they showed it, like on, what season was that? One? Season 1 or 2. It looked exactly the same, but what do I know? Anyway, so she's excited for her church to open, and then we learn more about the grandpa, and her husband, who's her grandpa, which is, y'all. So, basically, she says that her grandma wanted this, which is the story she's been sticking to since forever. She said that her grandma wanted this, that Mary was the chosen one to continue running this church, right? And Mary says that even her mom knew about it, which, that's just so gross. Like, I don't care if it's your step grandpa. I have a step grandpa, and that is disgusting. Like, and I love Mary too, but that is really twisted. But I do think that, I mean, obviously, like when Mary was talking about this, like I think a couple of seasons ago, you can tell, or was it season 2? You can tell there was like, you can tell she wasn't very like, how can I say this? It seemed like there was a bit of trauma in there. Like she hinted at that about the whole thing. She seemed extremely uncomfortable talking about it in like season 2, or was it season 1? It was one of those seasons before she, left for season 3. So anyways, yeah, she's saying that her mom just really wanted to take over, and it gets like really weird. And then Mary's mom walked out of her life, and then we find out that her mom passed away. And like Mary is clearly affected by this. Who knows? I think Mary was young too when she had to marry her grandpa, and they didn't have a kid with him and all that. It just seems very, I feel very sorry for Mary. I really do. My heart goes out to her because I just know something is not right with that, and I feel for her. I really do. I'm not even trying to like be funny or anything like that or laugh about it, but like I really do feel very, very sad about it. No, so you can tell she really loved her mom and she needed her mom. So yeah. Mary and her mommy issues, So yeah, Mary's crying, and she wipes her tears with a Louis Vuitton face mask. Alright, so now Heather goes to Angie's salon, and apparently Angie hasn't had her cosmetology license renewed in like 30 years, which is whatever. My mom's a cosmetologist, and yeah, she gets hers renewed all the time, and she loves to, well, I don't even think she loves doing hair anymore. She's so good at it, but I don't think she likes doing it, but she's so good, you guys. So I know the blood, sweat, and tears it goes into going to beauty school and passing cosmetology school and like all that stuff. Getting licensed, whatever. Yeah, so Heather's at Angie's salon, and Angie gives Heather like a perm, and then she starts telling her a story about how Lisa's assistant came to her store and was like, oh, I'm here to pick up some Fresh Wolf products, all the products. And Angie's like, she thought it was a joke. But no, so Angie goes down to their basement or the storage, whatever, and like gets all these dusty bottles of Fresh Wolf because she doesn't have them displayed anywhere. Yeah, and then she says Lisa Venmo'd her $600 for the products, and tells her that she needs to that she can send her cleaners over to the salon because it's so dusty in there. And so then Angie voice notes her back and was like, she needs to send that $600 to the people that she owes monies to, and that the products are dusty because no one was buying them. Yeah, and then Lisa texts her back, at least I don't have to borrow money for vacations, whatever that means. So Angie is telling Heather all this, and then Angie starts talking about Lisa's hair. Like, yeah, your hair is so shiny because it's bowling ball black, and blah, blah, blah. And then Heather's like, see, you have to stop taking digs at Lisa. Like, you say you're going to move forward, and then you do, like, you say things like that. And I'm like, Heather, shut up. Like, get out of Lisa's ass. Ugh. Whatever. Alright, so now here we go with mommy issue number 2 of the episode. Whitney and Brittany, they go to a plant store, and they apologize to each other, about the whole, what do you do for money suck dick thing, and bringing up Whitney's MLM business, whatever. So, they talk about Jared, And Brittany says that, they, they're on and off, but they're on right now, and that Olivia, her daughter, is having a hard time with Brittany being consistent about choosing a man over her. And what I have to say to that is, what the fuck? What do you mean you're choosing a man over your daughter? Like, that is so insane to me. And like, who cares if she's 20 years old? Like, who cares? That's your child. You're gonna choose a man who's, by the way, is not even like a good fucking man. Like, he's a hoe, a whole ass hoe, and you're choosing him over your daughter. And like, she can't even say this for a storyline, because what a fucked up storyline that is, that you would even say something like that. So Whitney is like trying to talk some sense into her. It's like, your daughter comes first, and like, she's like holding her, and she's like, I really need you to like listen to me, because like you're concerning me right now. Like, you really are. Like, Whitney's like serious, because she has issues with her mom too, and like, she wasn't speaking to her mom or anything. So like, now Brittany is Brittany is like seriously having a hard time, which is like coming to terms with the fact that she has to put her child before a man, you guys. That's insane. That's so insane. Okay. Now we're going on with the heavy mommy issues. Jesus Christ, you guys. Oh my God. How many notes I took? Okay. I took some decent notes on this one, because I just want to make sure I hit every point. Because this is insane. So Bronwyn and her mom, they sit down, and as they're sitting down, Gwen and her boyfriend are leaving. And it's, Bronwyn's mom can't believe that Gwen's boyfriend is living in the house with them. Now, I will say, I don't agree with the boyfriend living in the house with them. But at the end of this, I could see why Bronwyn wants that. But I just think that they're too young to be living together. But that's not my kid. That's not my family. What do I know? But like I said, by the end of this, I understood. I'll tell you why once I get through it. Okay, so her mom says that Gwen is basically following Bronwyn's example. Like, whatever Bronwyn does, Gwen does, because Gwen thinks that it's right. And she's saying that Bronwyn's a bad mom. Like, let's just cut the bullshit. That's what she's saying. She's a bad mom. And Bronwyn tells her mom, like, listen, obviously your parenting didn't work, because look at, I was hunching and humping all over BYU, and I got pregnant. So, like, let's not say you're like mom of the year over here, because look what I was doing. And her mom is like, that she would put her head on the chopping block and basically like bet her life that Bronwyn wasn't doing any of those things, because she raised her better than that. Which is like what Bronwyn is saying, like, you thought you were raising me good, and look what I was doing behind your back. So you can be mom of the year, and you don't know what your kids are doing. Okay, so, Bronwyn says that, her mom's pregnant didn't work, and then, her mom says that she gives Bronwyn tough love. And then Bronwyn tells this story about how she didn't have a baby shower. Like, her pregnancy wasn't to be celebrated. And she says that there was a time where both of her sisters were pregnant, and Bronwyn was pregnant too, so they were all pregnant at the same time, that they went to the baby gap, and the lady asked, like, oh, are you picking out something for your baby? And Bronwyn's like, oh no, like, my mom is picking out something for my sister's daughter. And then the lady's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have assumed that you're pregnant. She's like, oh, I am pregnant. And she's like, oh, well, is your mom going to buy something for your baby? And her mom was like, no, like, we're only buying something for this sister's baby. Which is like so fucked up. Bronwyn was only like, 19? She was a kid. And, and you could tell that really affected Bronwyn. So basically no one was allowed to be happy for Bronwyn. And Bronwyn said that her mom made her pregnancy miserable. And and her mom replies that by saying, "Do you know how miserable I was? She goes, do you know how miserable I was trying to hide it?" After Bronwyn said she was miserable during her pregnancy, her mom said, "Do you know how miserable I was trying to hide it?" What? What? Oh my God. Oh my God. And then she says, we're not even done, you guys. And then she says that Gwen would have been in foster care if it wasn't for her babysitting her. She said Bronwyn just basically dropped her off and said that if it wasn't for me, she would be in foster care because you couldn't take care of her. She said that shit, and Bronwyn was like, "No, do not even say anything like that. I would have got a second job to make sure that she was taken care of." Like this lady. And then just to put the cherry on top of the sundae, she says that she's here to humble Bronwyn because she doesn't want her to think that she's too wonderful or that she's too good. And that was the day I said, "Thank you, Lord, for blessing me with the mom that I have, because I could have it." I can't believe there's people actually like I knew that there was moms like this, but to see it, like to just see it and see the way Bronwyn is just really taking all this, I feel so bad for her. Honestly, if I were her, I'd be like, "Why don't you go live with the other two sisters, since I'm just such a horrible fucking person. I ain't shit without my husband, but you want to live in my mansion." Like, are you serious right now? Like, I can't even imagine. And Bronwyn is just crying. I feel so awful for her, but it makes a lot of fucking sense why she wants Gwen so close to her. Because she wants to show Gwen that she cares and she will never abandon her the way that her mom just basically emotionally abandoned her. And it makes a lot of sense why she wants Todd's approval so badly. And that she wants Todd to be proud of her because her own parents were never proud of her or anything that she's done. That's so fucked up, you guys. That's just so messed up, and I just felt so terribly for her. I really did. Alright, let's take a deep breath. Let's move on to some shit talking, okay? So now we have Meredith and Angie. They meet up for coffee. And I like them together, you guys. I wish that they were friends, because I think they'd be a very powerful duo. Not as powerful as Angie and Mary, but definitely powerful. So, they're sitting down with their coffees, whatever, and then Angie tells Meredith about the Fresh Wolf stuff. And Meredith says, you need to give Lisa some grace because of her kids, Like, you have to give her some grace. And Angie tells her that Lisa, when Lisa and Meredith were like on the outs, pause, I mixed that up. When Angie and Meredith were on the outs with each other, sorry if you hear stuff in the background. When Angie and Meredith were on the outs together, Lisa would call her up and be like, "You need to dig up info on her family, or dig up info on this and that. Dig up info about her bankruptcy and the shoplifting, and you need to use that against her." And Meredith doesn't believe what Angie is saying. Meredith is saying that, she's known Angie for like 2 years. She's known Lisa forever, and Lisa wouldn't do that. Me personally, I fucking believe it, because remember, Lisa called her a garbage whore who fucks half of New York. I believe it, okay? I believe it. Now, I'm just saying, if Lisa could say something like that about Meredith, what makes you not think that Lisa would pick up that phone while her and Angie are still besties and call her and be like, "Listen, if you want to take Meredith down, this is all you need to know. Here it is. Dig it up. Bring it to the table." She said that Meredith was a garbage whore who fucks half of New York, or her family that poses her husband can't keep a job. I'm just saying, we wouldn't know any of that if Lisa didn't say it. So I believe it. I believe it. And my girl Angie, she said I wasn't ever going to bring that up because Angie's a classy girl. Oh my god. Alright, guys, that was the episode. Let's see. I'm going to give this episode, I'm going to give it a 7. I'm going to give it a 7, you guys. It was a good episode. It wasn't great and it wasn't fantastic. It was just a good episode. So I'm going to give it a 7. With that being said, thank you so much for listening to me talk about Housewives. I will be recapping the Real Housewives of Potomac. It'll either be out on Sunday night or Monday morning. And I think that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this, please subscribe, like the video, and I'll keep more coming. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.